afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Let me make sure that we are live, make sure that we are good to go. I hope we are. I'm going to try not to get ahead of myself. I'm going to try not to get like ridiculously excited. But I've always been telling y'all about like this good old Li-Fi. Li-Fi. I'm so tired. The Wi-Fi up here in my office, and I did finally get my I got the Ethernet cord and everything connected. So I am just going to start having a little bit more faith that everything is going to be good to go now that we are going to be directly connected, and we're just going to see how that's going to work as far as the let's say the Wi-Fi is concerned, or at least the connection, should I say? Hold on just a second. Hope everybody is doing amazing. Hope everybody is doing well. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Tuesday. I've got so much work to do, but I'm going to get it done one way or another. That's what I do know. I shall get my work done, and that's just going to be that. So I'm going to do something different for the first time ever on the Saved and Single Instagram page. Hope y'all are following me on Instagram. We got the Saved and Single Instagram page. We got the New Thing Life Coaching Instagram page. We got the Saved and Single Facebook page. We got the New Thing Life Coaching Facebook page. We've got the SAS Tribe. We got a little bit of everything going on, but it's all good. So, listen, I hope you all are doing well. I'm going to pop in just for a few minutes. Hopefully, I'm not going to be long as far as this is concerned. Of course, I will say Happy Tuesday. I can't say Monday. I kind of thought about doing this video yesterday. Didn't get around to it. God is good. That's all right. All right. For those of you, of course, if you're new to the group, or if you're watching this on the Saved and Single channel, again, it's me, Coach V, of course, New Love Strategist. You can learn more at newthinglifecoaching.com. I like to provide some new motivation. Sometimes it's like a new strategy, something like that, of course, because I'm the New Love Strategist, and that's just that. Of course, I do have a scripture, and I want to talk about Romans 8:25 very carefully. I'm going to pull this up on my phone. I know I had my Bible and everything open. But so Romans 8:25, it says, "But if we look forward to something we don't yet have, then we must wait patiently and confidently." Okay, and I know that you hear my thing going off in the background. Sorry, and I know that is Ashley, who is messaging me right now, because all we do is we talk way too much. So Romans 8:25, "If we look forward to something that we don't yet have, we must wait patiently and confidently." So with talking, with looking at that scripture this morning, it's funny because last night, or should I say yesterday, I already knew that this was going to be the video that I was going to be doing. And I just felt like, sometimes you kind of, of course, I'm sure like the ministers and the teachers, a lot of times you have something in mind. It's like you can kind of tell it when you're in the vein. You can kind of tell like when Holy Spirit is like, yeah, go that direction, because he'll start giving you different things that also go along with it, and different things that like, of course, can end up connecting, and different things that of course can like tie all of these things in together. So I already knew ever since yesterday that I was going to be talking about Jezebel. I was actually hoping to do it last night. Didn't get around to it. Doesn't matter. We're here. Everyone always speaks about Jezebel. Everyone talks about her. Everyone talks about the Jezebel Spirit. So many different things. And don't get me wrong, we absolutely should talk about her, because, there's a lot to her story. There's a lot that I think we don't even realize. I hate to say powerful, but whatever. I mean, Satan was powerful. It doesn't mean he was more powerful than Jesus, but her, maybe I'll say a powerful spirit. Okay. So in 1 Kings 19, 14 through 18, I'm going to actually start in verse 15. So the Lord he was talking to Elijah at that point. And what he said was, "Go back the way that you came and go to the desert of Damascus. When you get there, anoint Hazael king over Aram. Also anoint Jehu son of Nimshi king over Israel, and anoint Elisha son of Shaphat from Abel to succeed you as prophet. Jehu will put to death any who escape the word of Hazael, and Elisha will put to death any who escape the sword of Jehu. Yet I reserve 7,000 in Israel, all whose knees have not yet bow down to Baal and whose mouths have not kissed him. So Jezebel was the wife of King Ahab, okay? The issue with Jezebel wasn't even so much her. Something, of course, we keep this in mind in Christianity, right? It wasn't necessarily her. The issue with Jezebel was that she had a powerful, she had a seducing, she had a manipulative, she had a demonic spirit that was operating through her. And that is what caused over 10 million Hebrews to bow down to Baal. It was her manipulative spirit that caused them to forsake the covenant, that caused them to destroy the sacred altars and to actually kill the prophets. Yes, Jezebel, this one woman, was almost totally responsible for corrupting an entire nation. And this same influence has come full force against us in present day if we're actually, if we're keeping our eyes open and paying attention to this. And I wanted to talk about it because we as single women, we have to move past manipulation. Jezebel was a manipulator. She was manipulative. She had a manipulating spirit, the whole nine. And this is going to be my quick motivational little message word for today, whatever it is that you want to call it. I try to do the little new motivation on Monday, and then I do like a new strategy video on Tuesday. So I'm going to kind of combine both of those today. Why do I want to talk about this? What I do know, of course, being a dating coach, working with single Christian women, whether it's through dating, whether it's through healing programs, whatever the case may be, I know that some of you are so tired of being single. I know that some of you are frustrated. I know that some of you are wondering, when is it ever going to be my turn? Is it ever going to be my turn? I'm kind of giving up when it's coming to dating. I'm kind of giving up when it's coming to marriage, but I really don't want to. I just want my happily ever after, and it hasn't happened yet. But then again, going back to Romans 8:25, it says, if we look forward to something, doesn't say what. It says, if we look forward to something that we don't yet have, then we must wait patiently and we must wait confidently for it to happen. So if you look forward to something that you don't have yet, you must wait patiently, you must wait confidently. And lack of patience is what will lead to manipulation. That is what we end up pretty much, in a sense, seeing when it comes to Jezebel. Jezebel was wildly and fiercely independent, right? I think we can agree on that. She was intensely ambitious. Jezebel wanted to be in control at the end of the day. And I think it's worth mentioning, I was looking up the meaning of her name, and her name, Jezebel's name, literally translates, it means without cohabitation, which simply means she refuses to live together. She refuses to, to cohabitate with anyone. And when you really kind of look, going kind of deeper into a lot of the words, she's divisive at the end of the day. She is divisive to her core. She is just someone, she just can't fit in whatever else with other people. And it's for us as single women, single Christian women who are desiring marriage one day, women who are saying we want to be in a God-honoring relationship. We want to be in a God-honoring, prosperous, successful marriage. We want to live and actually physically cohabitate with our spouses. We need to be mindful of some of the spirits and some of the ways that we have attached to us even now. And I know some of you are okay, well, I'm not quite a Jezebel. Where are you going with this? True. Manipulation is one thing. A lot of us, we will use manipulation to get what it is that we want. I know that some of you are even dealing with shame. Shame is like a spirit in and of itself. Some of you are dealing with shame because you're still single. Some of you are dealing with shame because of your age and you're still being single. Some of you are dealing with shame behind that broken engagement. Some of you are dealing with shame behind that divorce. Some of you are, dealing with shame because you went back on your abstinence. Shame because you thought that last guy was the one and it turned out he wasn't. Shame because you have kids out of wedlock. And let me tell you, shame is a perverse spirit that actually has a seducing spirit behind it. I really went in depth with this in week 1 of the Becoming course that several of you, joined me for. And yeah, we were talking about, lust and sex and purity and abstinence and masturbation, pornography, getting delivered from the actual spirits. And the reason that I had to start with deliverance in week 1, you can't even talk about remaining, becoming, purification, renewal, any of those things until you get delivered. You can't get delivered until you acknowledge what it is that you are struggling with. And we really had to look at some of those spirits. And a lot of times, some of us, we might find that we can't get free from, again, from the spirit of lust. We're trying to call out, lust, trying to call out pornography, trying to call out, masturbation, trying to call out homosexuality. Certain things, they're like these perverse spirits that have certain spirits behind them, and you can spend so much time trying to just deliver and cast one thing out, not realizing there's something a little bit deeper and a little bit more powerful behind it. So we have these seducing spirits that are drawing, and they'll kind of allure you, and they're very alluring, they'll lure you in. And shame is even one of those things that is driven by a seducing spirit. Now, seducing spirits, even though you might be feeling shame in one area about one thing, it can cause you to use certain things to try to control or manipulate a man in this season because you're frustrated with being single and you're frustrated with where you are. I've seen some women who, use sex to control men out of wedlock. Then I've seen some women who use lack of sex, they use their abstinence, they use that purity badge, right? Like as a way to try to get a man to marry them. I've seen some women who will do a lot of these things when single, and if they're not careful, you will turn around and use that same thing, sex, the thing that you use as a weapon and as a manipulative tool while single, they'll end up taking that into their marriage. They do what? Now it's like you want to try to control your husband with sex or with lack thereof. And it's like the thing that is like God is saying, hey, like this is what brings husband and wife together. The same thing that is supposed to consummate, the thing that you are not supposed to withhold from each other. A lot of us are using it as a tactic, as a tool, as a strategy while single. And it's like we're going to end up taking that same weapon into our marriage. You have to move past manipulation even now. And when you look at what manipulation actually is, it is the act of controlling or influencing a person or a situation, and you do so cleverly, unfairly, and or dishonestly. It is the act of controlling or influencing a person or a situation, doing so cleverly, unfairly, and or dishonestly. I think that sometimes we forget our power. We forget the power that we have as women of God. We forget the power that we have, seeing as how we are the daughters of the highest God, right? Like, and I did that Bible study, I think sometime last year, that a couple of you joined me for, talking about, taking back our God-given power. When you know who you are, there is no need to audition. There is no need to perform. There is no need to control. There is no need to trick. There is no need to manipulate a man when it comes to a relationship. There is no need reminding men of what they can have if they choose you. There is no need reminding a man of what they can't have unless they commit to you. We have to stop trying to force men who can't see us to see us. You need to stop trying to force men who can't see you to see you. They can't see you because they can't even see the God who is in you. So, and a lot of times we don't see it ourselves. And that's why we turn to manipulation. We'll go to another strategy. We'll go to another tactic, all because we really have not accepted who we are. We have not really accepted our identity. We have not walked in the identity and, walked in the image of God and everything that comes along with us. A Jezebel spirit, a Jezebel in general, is someone who will not dwell with anyone else unless she can control and dominate the relationship. Is that the kind of relationship that you would want to be in? Because a lot of us are talking about, oh yeah, I'm ready to submit. I've been doing it on my own. I'm ready to let, a man come in and take charge. I have these conversations with my kids now, and they understand that, yes, this man is going to be, like, we say all those things, and it sounds cute, it sounds cool, and it's not like we should be saying it. We talk about how we are ready to submit the whole nine, and again, what we are going to be like in these relationships. But at the end of the day, a lot of us, we struggle now with even submitting to God. A lot of us struggle now with just dating. Like, a lot of us struggle now with even having healthy conversations and communication and boundaries and certain stuff with men, but it's like we manipulate things on a different way, like in a different, coming from a different place, we'll find ourselves being manipulative and not even realizing. Like when you are doing something, again, underhandedly, when you're doing something dishonestly, whatever, because you are trying to get the results that you want, you're trying to control the outcome, that is manipulation. Simply put. So again, somebody with a Jezebel spirit, they're not going to be with someone unless they can control and dominate their relationship. And a lot of us, like even as single women, we're trying to control and dominate even certain things now. Like, right, we are to be submissive. But when the manipulative spirit seems submissive or servant-like, it's like a lot of times it's only for the sake of gaining some strategic advantage. And that's what we don't realize. Like from the heart, a person with that manipulative Jezebel spirit, they're not going to yield to anyone. And those of you who display controlling, manipulative behavior, and again, this was me at one point, but I know that some of you still do it now. When you end up having controlling behavior, when you have manipulative behavior, a lot of times you're embittered against others, whether it's through neglect, rejection, abandonment, whatever. And we can end up thinking that it's coming from a place of power, but that's not true. We think that we're taking back our power, but that's not true either. Now, here's the thing, because a lot of times those manipulative tactics, they might work. They can work. A lot of times they do work. That's what we, a lot of times, I realize, that's what a lot of times we don't realize about false prophets, right? So when the Bible talks about false prophets, and even now we're always talking about, false prophets, all that other good stuff. At the end of the day, the false prophet, what they end up, doing, and saying, a lot of, like, those things can actually end up happening. Because manipulation is powerful. Again, it's you're obtaining something falsely at the end of the day. It's a false prophet when you are using it for your own personal gain, when you're using it for an improper motive, when you're using something for the wrong reasons, when you're speaking certain things and again causing certain things to happen. So yeah, and sometimes the things that might come out of the mouth of the actions and whatever else, they're true. A lot of times, like, we assume that a false prophet is someone who says something that's not true. It's like a psychic can be a false prophet. Because, a psychic can end up saying something that yet absolutely is true, but maybe that person, they don't even realize that that is a gift that they should be using for the glory of God as a prophet, but instead they're using it to bring people to them and to get money instead of doing it freely, and pointing people back to God. Now, of course, I get spiritual gifts and stuff like that. Of course, we have certain gifts, that God has given us, provided us with. I always tell, like, a lot of my startup business coaching clients, your gifts are going to make room for you. Like when you're doing a business, like it's not a business unless you're making money. Otherwise, it's a hobby. So I understand, bringing in money for that. But yeah, false prophet from the sense of using certain tactics and strategies from a place of power, but it's false and you're doing it for your own selfish gain and for selfish ambition. That is false prophet. That is falsely doing something in general. That is a demonic trap at the end of the day. And this trap can operate through single women who, a lot of times, because of frustration with being single, because of insecurities, because of jealousy, because of impatience, they're using these things because they desire to lure, trap, and control men or a man. And I just want you to understand, I need you to wait and wait well. I know a lot of you are, like I said, you're frustrated. It's like, look, like I hear these things, right? Like I talk to some of you in coaching sessions, prayers. Some of you just hop in my inbox and it's like, look, sis, what kind of workshop you got? How do I get started with coaching? Because I'm tired of being single. Like I've been single for 5 years. I've been single for 3 years. I've been single for 10 years. I've been abstinent for 7 years. And a lot of you are frustrated, and if you're not careful, you'll find yourself sabotaging the wait. You'll find yourself giving in to something and like later on regretting it. You would have gone like all of this time But it's like thinking, oh, well, I was waiting, but you weren't really waiting. You weren't waiting well, because when you wait well, you're patient, first of all. And Romans 8:24 says, we don't need hope if we already have something. So if you don't have it yet, keep the hope and just keep on waiting. Galatians 5:22, it says that patience is a fruit of the Spirit. So a lot of times when we're impatient, when we're not waiting well, when we're frustrated, that's coming from what? Meaning that we have not truly spent time dwelling in the presence of God the way that we should have been. Like, yeah, I'm always new love strategist, right? I'm like, hey, yes, I help women win at love, all of that other good stuff. But 3 parts to it when I always say that. I help single Christian women dwell in God's love, develop self-love, and then go on to discover real love. Like, you got to tend to 1 and 2 before you get to 3. And now, yeah, we know there are some of those rare cases where, yeah, someone can end up falling in love. They can discover real love, and that love can be so powerful that it can help you in your healing journey, that it can help you with developing self-love, that you can experience that love that can also lead you to the love of God. So I'm not necessarily saying that there's like a strategy, like you have to go in this order, but again, those are rare cases, first of all. And I'm just saying, and the way that I do things, but I also know my ideal clients and the ladies that I work with and why they have had failed relationships, right? And why they've struggled with so many different things. And again, I'm also just doing what God told me to do. So for me, I start my ladies like, we gotta, let's focus here with dwelling in God's love. Let's look at what his love really, really looks like. I need you to sit here for a moment. Because when you do that, then you can kind of realize, what self-love is. Now you can love yourself better because you understand God's love. You've been dwelling there. You can develop this. Now that you got those two, you're ready for that whole, like that real, but love in general is powerful. And that's why I really try not to make it like a 1, 2, 3 thing. Love in general is powerful. And when you understand love, when you understand that God is love, when you love yourself, you don't have to do all that extra stuff. You don't have to do any manipulating. You don't have to do any controlling. You don't have to do like any of those things. Patience. Dwell in the love of God. Dwell in his presence. And then as a single dating woman, there's no nagging now. There's no controlling now. There's no manipulation ever. Manipulation is a bad thing in and of itself. Okay, like let's just go ahead and make that perfectly clear. But these things won't work well, first of all, and they don't change, and they're not going to just go away in your marriage. A lot of us, we think, okay, well, I'm going to do what I got to do now. Like sometimes you just got to do what you got to do in order to get to where you want to be. And once I get to where I want to be, then I'll change and I'll stop doing all these other things. No, you're not going to just, something is not going to just vanish and disappear once you get married. So that's why it's important to like do the work now. Work on certain things now, okay? Move past manipulation. We don't got time with no Jezebel spirits going into our marriages at the end of the day. Jezebel is someone, she worshipped the false Canaanite god. She led her husband into blasphemy. Okay? She orchestrated the murder of a man who declined to sell his vineyard to her husband. She is mentioned as a false prophet in the book of Revelation. So I want to remind you today that if you're looking forward to a healthy relationship, if you are looking forward to a God-honoring marriage, and you don't have it yet, that just means wait patiently for it. And not even just patiently, it's saying, hey, I can wait confidently for it. I can be patient because I'm confident it will happen. If we look forward to something that we don't yet have, we must wait patiently. And patient is like, I'm just going to sit there, like it's going to happen. I don't have to complain. I don't have to manipulate. I don't have to scripturally manipulate stuff. I don't have to turn to witchcraft prayers. I don't have to do any of those things. I'm patient and I know that it's going to happen. And not only am I patient, but since I confidently know that this thing is going to take place, I want to make sure that I'm doing the work now. Because I already know that this marriage is going to be amazing. I know that this man is going to be amazing. And I want to make sure that I am equally as amazing. I want to make sure that he understood that he was worth the wait. The same way I'm worth the wait, my future husband is worth the wait. So I want to make sure that right now I'm cleaning some things up. I'm getting my house in order. I'm getting my life in order, my finances in order. I'm working on all of these different things. I'm looking at what the Bible says about marriage. I'm spending time with God because I know that some men can be a little crazy, and I'm going to have to spiritually cover my husband. I want to make sure that I'm doing everything I need to do in this season because I am confident that that thing that I am hoping for is going to happen. It is going to take place. My prayers are not falling on deaf ears. God cares about every single thing I care about. It's saying, hey, God knows that I care about getting married. God knows that I feel a calling and a grace to be a wife. So right now, I'm going to do what I got to do because I want God to know and see like how much I am going to honor his son. I'm going to honor my future marriage even now. So again, if you are looking forward to it, and if you don't have it yet, patience, confidence, no manipulation at all. That's just not how we do things. Okay, we're just not. Okay, that's just not how we do things at the end of the day. So I wanted to just share this word. I hope that it can motivate you on today. I hope that it can give you a little bit of inspiration for something. I don't know. Look, a lot of us, like I'm connected to a lot of phenomenal women. All right. We are bosses. We are amazing mothers. A lot of us, we have ministries. We got nonprofits. We're out here writing books. Like I said, some of y'all have been in my Kingdom Launch program. We're out here starting businesses. Like we got all of these things. We are too freaking amazing. Beyond amazing. We don't have time even thinking about men that we have to control or trap or lure in or manipulate them to be with us. And like I said, a lot of these, like I've done a lot of that stupid stuff before, trying to, well, I'm abstinent now. If you want this, you better marry, you better put a ring on it. Da, 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 da. Like, even that's like a form of like, I don't got time for that. I'm not, no. We're so not doing that, okay? We don't want men that we have to use strategy to trap them. Now, yes, new love strategist. But again, if you've worked with me, you know what I mean when I say strategy. I just feel like love, there's a strategy. A lot of us, we want love, but we don't know how to love. A lot of us, we say we want unconditional love, but we have all these stipulations. A lot of us, we don't know how to date. So yes, I give strategies when it comes to certain things. But I tell people, like, if you're looking for witchcraft, manifestation, some special formula to get you a man in 30 days, that ain't me. I'm sure there's some crazy coaches out there that can help you with that, but that's not me. Because if you think that you're going to use some type of strategy or formula or whatever else to get a man, guess what? You're always going to be looking and scheming and conjuring up the next crap in order to keep him. That's all I got to say about that. I'm leaving for today, all right? Listen, we're not doing that. That's all I got to say today, all right? Level up. Do not forget, I see that some of you have already started registering for Ascend 21. Registration is open for that 21-day self-love challenge. Because what I also know is when you love yourself and when you know who you are, when you know whose you are, that other stuff is unnecessary. There is no manipulation that is necessary. You don't have to worry about any of that foolishness. So it's like, hey, we've already done some stupid stuff. So like I said, the reason I wanted to start that challenge on June 10th is because it's going for 21 days. So literally when we're done, we'll be going into July 1st. We're going to be going into the second half of 2021. All of the foolishness that you've done up to this point, because you were still kind of working through some things internally, that's going to be a wrap. We're not doing that no more. It's saying, hey, like I love myself. I'm a little bit more aware now of God's love. I know who I am. I'm not playing these games anymore. And I saw a lot of you registered yesterday when I opened registration. I love it. And I know, like I said, it might sound crazy for me to be doing a 21-day challenge with 21 videos, 21 challenge, like the whole 9 for $21, because I don't want money to be an excuse for anyone. I really want to see women like really just level up, ascend, go higher. Like, y'all, we are some bosses. We are amazing. We literally have the God of angel armies on our side. I don't know why I'm so pumped right now. Maybe because I just been listening to worship music all day. But we are absolutely amazing. And I know a lot of you, it's like you know it, but sometimes you struggle believing it. I want you to believe it. I want you to feel it. And I want that challenge to really pump you and motivate you to say, hey, I really am a prize, and I know that my future husband is a prize too. But I'm already a prize right now where I'm at, like all of that other good stuff. So we're gonna get to it, and that's just gonna be that. All right. I love all of y'all. I think y'all know that I mean that. Yeah, I don't like social media. I really, there's a lot of things I sometimes slack on, but I love you all right. I love Saved and Single. I love the tribe. I love New Thing Love Coaching. Love coaching, that too. But that's that. If you want to register, I'm sorry, because I don't think I put it on the Saved and Single Instagram page. You just go to bit.ly/ascend 2122. I can't wait to explain more about 22, obviously, because 2022 is next year. But I already told y'all, when God was calling me to single Christian women, He gave me the number 22. He was showing me that 22 is like the most powerful of all numbers. Like, it is a master number in life in general, but like biblically speaking, the number 22 has so much behind it. And I know what it also means, even when it comes to love and when it comes to marriage and when it comes to things like that. So I was like, okay, ascend 21 for 21 days. We're going higher because literally 21 comes before 22. I'm cheesy, I'm corny, I'm lame. I come up with little whack stuff all the time, but it caught a lot of y'all's attention. So that's that. Listen, y'all be blessed, all right? I love all of y'all, and I will talk to you lovely ladies later. Y'all see those boxes in the background? I still have some sassy boxes left as well, but I think I did mention if you wear a size, I think 2X and 3X, those t-shirts are limited. So I just wanted to make sure that that was clear. I do not have many left of those, all right? But that's it. Y'all take care. Bye.